thinking about you. 아무리 고개 흔들어도 난 네 생각만 하고 있을 뿐. 아무리 딴짓해봐도 난 너의 목소리만 들릴 뿐.
Alright, y'all, we are back. Technical difficulties is quarantine. Y'all know how it goes, but welcome back, y'all. Come on in, get settled. We gonna start like it again in a few minutes. Y'all stay tuned, alright? Come on in, y'all. We getting everything restarted, so we're gonna wait till everything fill back up. We'll get on like it or not, y'all. Y'all come on in, stay tuned. 다가가도 괜찮겠지? 다른 애들보다 내가 훨씬 단단하게 걸어가면 다들 속작 My confidence is shooting through the roof. 아무리 고개 흔들어도 난 네 생각만 하고 있을 뿐. 아무리 딴짓해봐도 난 너의 목소리만 들릴 뿐. 있으면 내 here with me. 가득 심장이면 please tell me. 빨리 고백해볼까? 눈 감고 말해볼까? 미치겠어 only you. 이런 건 처음이야. 너무 설레니 정말. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you, boy. Yeah. All I think about is you, boy. All I think about, yeah. All I think about is you, boy. All I think about, yeah. 내 맘은 사람 손으로 하고 우리 둘만 완벽한 lover. 내 맘은 사람 손으로 하고 우리 둘만 완벽한 lover. Hey, boy, I can sleep at night. So, 내가 한번 해봐 이리 와서. Hey, boy, I can sleep at night. So, 내가 한번 해봐 이리 와서. I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you. So long I didn't see you on mine. You changed a lot, you look a different guy. I can't stop thinking about you since last night. Notice everything?
Do you feel the same? Imagine if we did it right. Yeah, I feel like we could be so tight. We can fix it's gonna be alright. Do you feel me, baby?
Look, we missed all of that, y'all.
In my eyes, into my heart, I know I'm everything you pray for my love. Been waiting too long to find in the one. I would do everything you ask in my love. Look in my eyes, I know we need time. I know I'm everything you pray for my love. Been waiting too long to find in the one. I would do everything you ask in my love.
All right, give me a second. Okay.
Yeah, we were kids, baby, the time flew by. I mean, we didn't really had a fight. We were never
Truth and Dragon, I mentioned party, but party for next week.
I can see your face. We just need some peace of mind. I got a feeling we will be alright. I wanna live with you by your side. Do you feel the same? Look in my
9 a.m. to 10:30, yeah. Like it or not is on your channel, yeah. Politics and culture ish, we change scan like we're supposed to, yeah. Interviews and all the news, we get to choose what gets the views. Like it or not, with Queen Azura, it started now, so stick around. Like it or not.
Azor is coming through. You know she got a good story for you. Oh, Benjamin, that's my dog. This is his show. He's a politics pro. I am your DJ. DJ exclusive. Y'all know who I am. That's Tasty Jams. Like it or not, it's going down. Like it or not, y'all stick around. Oh, like it or not, it's starting now. Like it or not, it's about to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, people.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth
And not care who doesn't like it.
It is again Friday, October 22nd, 2021. Thanks so much for joining us. DJ Exclusive, how you doing, man?
I'm good. You must have missed the whole meltdown breakdown, didn't you?
No, I saw it just froze.
Oh
up
man, I was about to say, I'm
crashed.
like, did Ben know what happened?
Yeah, man. Listen. I'm at a different phase. Like there would have been a time in my life where I would have been in the background, like, get it right, fix it. And I was like, man, nah, it's the time. We chilling today, baby. We just, hey, the stream will come back up when it comes back up, and when it comes back up, we're gonna give them a good time, man. So I'm just over here chilling.
Right. Same
chilling,
here.
waiting on Rebecca Azor to show up. And come in and do all these wonderful stories that she's brought us. A lot. Of
You ain't check your text messages either, Ben.
I didn't check.
Ben misses so much sometimes, y'all. When I tell you,
I saw the whole
Ben
conversation, but you read. But what I saw you saying was, yeah. I miss a lot. Matter of fact, I'm not even looking at the screen most of the day. Most of the day, I'm just looking at a camera, looking back at me. So I literally have no idea what's going on around me. But we got a great team that makes it happen. Anyway, let's start with Ron Desantis. I want to start with this clip, and it's Ron Desantis. Apparently, it's him imitating someone that he wants to be like. When Ron DeSantis grows up, he wants to be like a former president. Let's take a look at this clip.
Anybody here would do it.
Project to get
Judges are a priority.
And honestly, we have businesses that have been locked down and lives destroyed for over a year based on saying
many ballots,
no
and they put them
COVID
all
vaccine
together, and then they
passports
just dump them
made in China and shipped here.
Russia
Why would we want so many important things
Can we take them?
to us be at the whim of China?
Why would you show me this? My God, today, did you see that?
What does that say about you that the person you aspire to be is Donald Trump?
Oh, bro.
What
The
happened
bar
to
is
Ron
set
DeSantis?
very low, extremely low.
The bar is in hell, right?
The bar's in hell, bro.
And good morning, everyone. I just want to point out, like, I don't think DeSantis is smart enough to train himself on his own for this. So he's definitely paying someone to advise him on how to perform like Trump.
How
You
to be
think
more
so?
Trumpian.
Because I really think it's one of those things. He looks like he's one of those white guys that they call he's the tool. That he sits there in the mirror and is like, okay, he does his hands like this.
Yeah.
Donald J. Trump, I am the president China. Just like I do. This is the same thing. China. It's like CHYNNA. China.
Of all the people, I mean, where do you have to be in your life, Ron, that you set your aspirations to be more like Donald Trump? I mean, of all people. Donald Trump, 2 Corinthians, Donald Trump. I mean, it's one thing to be your own village idiot. See, Ron DeSantis is his own special kind of stupid, right? But it's when he set his bar for stupidity to match that of Donald Trump. Like that's really, man, that's some spectacular white mediocrity, bro. I've never seen. Can we run it one more time just for posterity's sake? Let's look at Ron DeSantis as he imitates his Führer.
Anybody here would do it.
Project to get
Judges are a
treatment
priority.
available and honestly, we have businesses that have been locked down and lives destroyed for over a year based on saying no COVID vaccine passports made in China and shipped here. Why would we want so many important things
There's no virus.
to us be at the whim of
There's
China?
nothing. Everything is okay.
Bro, when they said in unison, they said, and honestly, oh, I like the
Okay, and honestly,
you got to be some kind of stupid to try to imitate.
This ain't the most Florida-ish thing I've ever seen. It sounds
in
about
other news, Florida man. The Florida man. How did y'all elect Florida man to the governor's seat?
Okay.
Ron DeSantis is a walking Florida man. Right? Remember the guy who got caught in Miami, like eating the face of another person because he was almost.
Oh God!
That's Ron DeSantis. Okay, everybody. This just so we're clear what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with a higher level of intellect. We're dealing with a person who thinks he should look up to Donald Trump. Come on, man.
Florida,
man.
Florida,
to the governor's seat.
China. Down to the Sharpie. You know, someone said, wouldn't it be cool if you use a Sharpie just like Trump?
But this time you use purple. Use purple so that they can't say you're doing the same thing. The purple Sharpie massacre. I'm done with y'all. All right, we got some more idiocy. Here's a rally. At a rally for the GOP, Virginia governor candidate Glenn Youngkin. They said the Pledge of Allegiance, but it was to a flag that was carried during the insurrection on January 6th. And so now they're not only, honoring January 6th, they're honoring the flags that were carried on January 6th, like they got carried out on the battlefields of Lexington. And God, man, these people have lost their minds, James. Like they acted like this was carried out on the fields of the Revolutionary War, and they're saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag that was carried in the Capitol on January 6th. Let's take a look at this.
I also want to invite Kim from Chesapeake. She's carrying an American flag that was carried at the peaceful rally with Donald J. Trump on January 6th. I ask you all to rise and join us as Mark Lloyd leads us in the pledge.
Face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
Ooh, the caucasity of it all. Ooh. Cause ain't this some bullshit? The flag that was in the building that several people lost their lives to. Okay, y'all pledging that. Oh, okay. Might as well pledge your allegiance to the devil. Cause let me shut up.
Man, I don't know what happened to these people growing up. Like I guess this is what white supremacy does to your brain. This is honestly, like they used to have all those warnings. This is your brain on drugs. Let me tell you, this is not your brain on drugs. This is your brain on white supremacy, bro. This is your brain on nationalism. This is your brain on Trumpism. God, dog, these people, man.
The peaceful rally that was happening on January, girl. If you don't sit your ass down, you ate that. Get out of here, girl. Goddamn it.
You want to ask Ashley Babbitt how peaceful it was?
Ben.
Oh, Father, I stretch my hands to thee. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Oh, God. Well, we thank y'all all for joining today and watching us here on
they're
the
holding.
Benjamin
Hey,
Dixon
James,
Show.
they're holding up the bloodstained banner, bro. They're holding up the bloodstained banner of January 6th.
Like dead ass, man. Like for real, they really are, dude. And that's that's disturbing. And y'all are okay with it.
I don't know why it's so funny to me. Because when you follow up after Ron DeSantis trying to beat Donald Trump, and then you go to this sister who was pledging allegiance to the January 6th flag, let's run this next clip. It's a little bit of comic relief. It's another clip from Trey Crowder on the far right being offended, right? They have the nerve to be offended because we call them domestic terrorists, but that's exactly what the hell y'all are. Let's take a listen to this clip.
Well, after months of frothing at the mouth at school board meetings, the far right is incensed at the notion some might consider them domestic terrorists because of that, which I find pretty hilarious because they're basically like, hey, so you know how I've been screaming at those fascists on the school board about doctors being frauds? Well, now, because of that, them and the commie queers are calling me names. Can you believe that? There's just something funny about the fact that the people behind all your papa's favorite racial slurs are upset at a little generalization. You know, these are the same people that when a black guy gets shot for wearing a hoodie, they'll say, well, he shouldn't have been dressed like a thug. But now they're like, so just because I threaten those who disagree with me with violence in an effort to intimidate them into aligning with my agenda, that makes me a terrorist all of a sudden? Yeah, it kind of does, man. These people are so stupid, and they hide it all behind the guise of being concerned parents. Oh, so concerned parents are terrorists in Biden's America? Is that it? You're not concerned parents, you're brainwashed wingnuts who have children. It's the first part we care about. The second part's kind of ancillary. All right, I've got kids. Don't lump me in with your horse shit. All right, there's plenty of other parents out here. We're pretty concerned too right now. But whereas you're concerned that your baby girl might have to wear a mask in the middle of a pandemic and be taught that slavery was bad, we're concerned about our kids sharing the monkey bars with your little pee-wee petri dishes. We're concerned that one of y'all might do something crazy if the school keeps taking the appropriate precautions, probably on account of you keep saying you're going to do that like a fucking terrorist would.
Jesus.
And mostly, we're concerned about the future our kids might inherit if you fucking slack-jawed, backward-ass, broke-brained, empty-headed, hate-filled lunatics have your way. How's that for name-calling, you dipshit?
My bad on the language. This was originally meant for the after party a week ago.
That's like 3 words. That's $300. Okay, we're gonna send it to Trey. Trey, you owe us $300 for all that profanity. But man, what is it about hearing white folks with country accents read their racist white folks with other country accents? Why is it so enjoyable, man? That was funny to me.
Very much so, because he went off. Go off.
That's what we need more of. Go off on your fellow white folks, man. Because these little petri dishes, kids, little snot-nosed, raggedy kids on the monkey bars. That's what we're afraid of. On the monkey bars that your kids playing on. That's what we're afraid of. Well, yeah, we are calling you terrorists if you want to think about it honestly. Because on account of that, you doing some terrorism.
Okay.
Call a thing a thing.
Call a thing a thing.
Is Rebecca here? Hey, Zor. Queen Azor, how you doing, sis?
Good. How are you?
The Bond of Justice has entered the building.
Yeah, we're doing good. Glad. Yeah, you're still on the that MacBook microphone. They don't invest a lot in their microphones.
I mean, they do pretty good.
Anyway.
Working now? I thought it.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
How you doing, sis?
Good. How are you?
Good. Appreciate you pushing your way through. I honestly did not see the text messages until like 5 minutes ago. So, I texted you 5 minutes ago.
So I told her ass, girl, we got it and we had it, but she's wanted to get on up. I'm like, oh, okay, Rebecca, cool, you can come on in. But I told her to stay in the bed. I was pushing through too. I was so tired. My alarm didn't go off until about 8 o'clock, so I had to rush to set up everything.
Listen, I tried to do a best of episode today. I was going to just let's do a replay. Let's take a Friday off. Nope, there's a white man in the background said, no, I got to put these black folks to work. Got to get them out here, and made me have to show up this morning. We all wanted to take the day. The only white man I let talk to me like that.
Except I don't talk to you like that.
I'm about to say, Rebecca, you know only one arm on the show. What are you talking about?
What white man is that? Because
definitely don't put me out there like that.
That doesn't sound like the white man I
What you saying? What you saying? That's not entirely true. What I just said.
Don't put me out there.
It's not true.
You mean I'm lying? I'm misrepresenting my relationship with that white man?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Severely.
Okay.
I like to make people think that we have a friendly bully white man in the background, but I guess we don't. But anyway, the point was we were supposed to take the day off. We're supposed to take the day off, but David was like, "No, we got to do what's best for the."
Well, who had that? Who said that? Because if I knew, no, seriously. But
Look, Rebecca, right?
The white man.
If we would have, but I don't think he said it like Ben said it. I think Ben was like, "Nah, we got to."
No, he.
Exactly, Rebecca. You know it because you know.
This time
you already know it wasn't Dave. It was Ben's like, nah, we'll just get up and do it. We'll do it. We good. I'm just gonna stretch and I'm gonna be good.
Look,
see, I could let you guys do this for me. I could let you do this.
We
for
about
me,
to do some yoga.
I'm gonna represent Ben right and say in the past that's been Ben's approach. This time he very much was. Feeling that lazy route, and I was like, no, because we got a whole bunch of replays.
No.
You gonna get on my
David,
internet?
Don't shoot him no bell, David. Let him get these jokes. Let him get these jokes today.
Rebecca, I'm here for it. Look, girl, let's just shut up. Let's go, David and Dwayne. Anything else?
What did I do to Dwayne?
It's nothing.
Dwayne, let's go make a list and come back in a week.
Let's go.
You ain't do nothing. It's just Friday. Everybody had their Friday to get their jokes.
David,
Today your turn.
Yeah, David, next time.
Yeah.
Don't get involved in grown folks' business. I'm just kidding. No, next time though, we have to know what's going on. But I'm glad that we're here. I'm glad that we are with you guys. It really, y'all see, I ain't even got my lashes on. I ain't even got my mascara on. Okay, I don't even got foundation. I took my makeup brush and I tapped my face. I didn't even really put a full face on for the children
You
today.
still look good though.
I was just about to say that.
I was able.
Right, David. I was like, well, damn, you ain't got nothing on. Okay, shit.
I took when you use the makeup brush over and over, I just took it and I just kind of dabbed my face to get
I can't say I do.
My morning sleep off.
I have no recollection. It's not like I wear makeup or anything.
You know when? No, sorry.
Rebecca.
What is wrong with y'all this morning? This is not the after party. We're still live.
It's Friday. What's going on? Anyways, what were you guys talking about before? What were you guys
Does anybody even know what we're laughing about at this point? Does anybody have any point of reference?
Well, we can laugh. We can laugh at the Southerners, or we can amplify some HBCU folks that are protesting.
We're going to amplify.
We didn't want to get serious, David. Look at this.
No, I did that story in Benjamin P. Dixon. First of all, Dwayne, I don't know what line you have me on here, but the children on screen are not listening to me. First of all, there's a big
Wait
delay,
a minute.
and I have no time. We are going to talk about the HBCU kids who are protesting over there at Howard.
Oh,
because that.
Okay, well, no, that's a serious story. Yeah, no, for real. Let's do it.
So
this is what now y'all see what I go through when I be talking to y'all, because y'all be on the same channel and I be background like, yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like 3 hours later, then my audio finally come to y'all and I'm like, oh yeah, what you say? Huh? Okay, cool. Now you get it. Now y'all see what the hell I go through.
Since we having fun and I know you can take a joke, if you was here on time, you would have been in the right channel and you wouldn't have to worry about that delay.
you didn't want me on that channel. I could have been on that channel. You just wanted to, do.
No, if you was here when you was supposed to be, you would have been in the right place where you was supposed to be. And you could have got brought in with everybody else.
I just want to say for the record, and before we go to this next story, this is a crisis of leadership and management. This is what happens when you empower your team entirely too much, and you let them have this all the autonomy. They get to say whatever they want to say, and just they feel so. It is a beautiful thing. But my God, y'all are some silly clowns, and I don't know. I don't even know if I want to finish the show. Let's go to the after party.
No, we are going to do this story first before we go to the after party. So.
God, damn! I knew I wasn't by myself, but for the sake of the story. Now, all jokes aside, there's protests that are going on at Howard University, and it's not getting the kind of national coverage that it needs to get. We've been having a lot of fun this morning, but there's some serious stuff that we got to tackle. Rebecca Azor, I yield the floor.
Okay, so as we know, over at Howard, there are protests going on. They're underway from the kids who are protesting the terrible living conditions on campus. Many kids have taken to the school campus's main area and have protested the mold, protested the unbreathable air filters, a lot of things that are broken and haven't been fixed. A lot of people are questioning where the money has gone from the university. If there is so much money being poured into the schools, why aren't those funds being used to redo the dorms or redo the apartments on campus? So I know that I sent in. I don't know if we have that. Do we have the?
We have a different one because we can't use the local coverage, but we do have a SOP.
Okay, perfect. Let's take a look, listen to what these students had to say.
Student protests at Howard University. They've been camped out at the school's Blackburn Center, and they say that they will stay there until all of their demands are met. They're asking for better housing for incoming freshmen, an in-person town hall meeting with Howard University's president, and the reinstatement of students, faculty, and alumni as voting members of the school's Board of Trustees.
We demand change. We demand humane living conditions.
There have been a lot of reports of mold in dorms. We're not quite sure if it's black mold or if it's just regular mold, but regardless, it's disgusting and frustrating. I remember hearing about a girl who had mushrooms growing in her shower. I know about kids who have had to start taking like army sort of showers because when they shower, it gets so bad that they start to struggle to be able to breathe. In one of our dorms, there was flooding, and it took them about 4 hours to get to kids, to get them relocated. All of their stuff was destroyed. Everything that they bought, their entire room was like flooded and full of water. In one of the boys' dorms, there are bugs in the showers. Gnats and roaches. There's rats in our cafeterias where people are eating on a daily basis. And that's just the stuff that we can see where we're eating. We have no clue what's happening behind the counter. We tried to do everything by protocol. We emailed everybody that we were supposed to be emailing, and we called everybody we were supposed to be calling, and nobody ever tried to help us in a way that really mattered.
I think a lot of people are surprised that there are reports of this happening at Howard. I mean, it's one of the most high-profile HBCUs. It's also ranked among one of the wealthiest black colleges.
We're not the first people to be dealing with this. They had protests for this in '88. They had protests for this in 2018.
Did she say 88?
She said 1988 and then 2018. So just to, first of all, the BNC anchor is, she fine. She beautiful. And poor kids, the poor
girl.
Kids are to go through this. I know that at my university, Florida A&M, and I got to be honest, I thought those, when we first moved there, my dorm room, and I represented my dorm room for the university, and had to talk about a lot of our living conditions as well, because what they're talking about is not uncommon at some of these universities, and you'll see. But now I can say when you go there, now the dorms are upscale now because I guess they used the money to rebuild. But there were dorms that were shut down for so long, unutilized space, and the ones that were up and running looked like the ones that were vacant. It was so I do, and I love to see that these kids are speaking up about it. But here's an update. So last week, this is when the protest started, but the Board of Trustees had responded this weekend saying that all they said was, simply put, we hear you and we continue to welcome your viewpoints on all matters pertaining to Howard. The release went on to state that the board supports and encourages the administration's open and constructive dialogue with students, saying the goal is to cultivate spaces for us to listen and discuss prominent prominent issues on students' minds. And they also touched on, a few more of the housing concerns, saying the university has always guaranteed housing for freshmen and sophomores. Currently, 94% of first-year and second-year students are living in Howard University residences. This fall, Howard secured and provided additional housing for 700 students, a 15% increase in the total number of beds available to students compared to 2019-2020 academic year. We recognize that despite our efforts, there are those in our community who have struggled to find housing opportunities. What does that have to do with living conditions? I couldn't tell you, because even if there was an influx of students, which caused them to have more beds, more bodies than beds, the living conditions in those buildings should not be that way. Do y'all remember having to take a shower with shower shoes at the university and literally bugs crawling all in the damn shower?
No, I don't remember that part. I'm sorry.
Because being you stayed in the good dorm. Trust me, I was in like the general population. That's what it looked like in prison
you're right.
at Bronson Hall, because it was communal showers where it was like you walk in, you got 3 stalls on the back side and then 2 showers in front of those stalls with no shower curtain. Bugs, roaches, everything, mold, all of it. Everything for a private university that you would think would take care of their school and everything, but no. And it sucks because this happens at a lot of HBCUs. I ain't gonna say a lot of them, but Howard, I would really think that Howard would be one that Howard is a prestigious HBCU, and you would really think that it would be set up perfect for these students. But it just goes to show you, as a HBCU, is just these funds just don't never go to where it needs to go to.
That's right. You think about Howard. They have the Chadwick Boseman. They just opened up the Chadwick Boseman Performing Arts, right? They just hired Nicole Hannah-Jones from the 1619 Project over at the New York Times, and Claire Huxtable, Felicia Rashad. Isn't Felicia Rashad like a dean over there? I don't think
she is.
Roaches and black mold.
So
that's a lot.
Some people might not like me for saying this, but this is an example of black people being black people. So like y'all talk about the money not going where it's supposed to, right? The HBCUs, like I worked at Hampton for a long time. I've been to a lot of the HBCUs, so I know that a lot of times it's more about putting on the facade that, hey, look at what we doing. Look at all these nice, beautiful buildings. But in the background, you got students living like this all over the place. Yep. And I mean, it's
I wonder
very
how many
similar to
PWIs
just
are like
how we do things. It's more about the show and putting on the front sometimes than actually taking care of the underlying issues.
So I'll say this, the money that goes into the schools, I don't know how that works, but I know there's some sketchiness. It's always sketchiness when it comes to the money in the schools, and we see the money in corporations and the money all the time. I don't really think it's like it is. I wouldn't say it's black people being black people, right? Because I'll say that I don't know where the money goes when it comes to Howard University. My school gets a lot of money. My school is the prestigious school, Florida A&M University. But, we have all of these HBCUs. It's sad because I feel like they are so used to functioning as if they never had money. And, as if they didn't, like this is back in the day. So I feel like when they didn't, especially with being controlled by, I'm pretty sure a lot of our universities that we see at, on the main level, and that even includes mine, there's some control from the community or from the white community or whatever the case may be. I know for Florida A&M, anything that goes on, of course we make sure that it's FAMU and FAMU's only, but a lot of control about things that we do in Tallahassee is controlled by the leadership in Tallahassee.
The state government. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I do.
Which made me ask that question. Though
we had
ask that question, Rebecca. I don't mean to cut you off, but like, as you experienced that at FAMU, did you see that over at at Florida State. Did you hear about it in Florida State? Like, I want to know, like, how many white schools go through this?
At FSU, if they complained about anything, it would be rebuilt. If you go to their library, rebuilt in 2 seconds, all of that stuff. We had things because people, I remember Magic Johnson donated our orange room to us, which was like an upscale calf. We had 2 of them, and it provided an area for us to just come and chill and be like in a better environment instead of just always being in the calf. It just provided a better space for us to eat luxury food instead of, because FAMU's food is always luxury, to be honest. But, you know, if you wanted to do outside of the meals that were being cooked and stuff, and it was just like a nice hangout spot for everybody. But it was something that when FAMU is presented on television, that's what made it more marketable. We had these empty buildings, like I said, that are sitting there, and the FAMU kept pushing. I mean, I remember one time to get the buildings redone after a lot of us fought for it, talked about it, you know, at the town hall meetings, all kinds of stuff, and it would not get approved. Like those kind of things, it just wouldn't get approved. And we had to learn that going to the meetings I had to cover as a young journo, going to the Board of Trustee meetings and stuff, because students had questions, just like these Howard University students. But I think now, when it comes to living situations and a lot of the money that's being spent, and I get it, I feel like they're trying to keep up with, okay, the money's coming in, and the people that are sending the money, they want us to do this with the money when we know we need this with the money, and we got to keep the stature up of the school when people come to the school so that we have somewhere to bring them, or, you know, and they can see. But students first. I think that's what I think that's students first. I know we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep the school in the news on top, you know, trying to keep the school getting funds in. But I think this should be and because we're in a viral era and these kids ain't playing, I think this should be a lesson to all HBCUs. I don't want anybody who isn't part of the family having this conversation either. Every day we have these conversations. HBCUs are still, you know, to me, the way to go. But we have a lot of work to do, even within our own. HBCUs are, to me, it's a great opportunity, great experience. But we shouldn't. I should have never been living the way.
Black mold ain't no joke. That'll mess up.
I was gonna say that. Ben, I had dust in my dorm room. Not just like a little bit of dust. I'm talking about those things were turning into animals and trying to fight me.
Wait, somebody said they had mushrooms in the clip. They said they had mushrooms growing in their room. Yeah, I'm like,
no,
bro.
And there's a video of it where on the back of a girl's portrait, the amount of mold that
Yeah, that means ventilation is bad. They did say, excuse me, Nick Eden was saying as well too that, you know, some of the PWIs face the same thing as well too. They did release something in a magazine at Harvard. But and that's so much the difference. Harvard? Because the difference is these PWIs are going to get all the exposure, and you're going to hear about it on everything, the news, everything. But once it comes to an HBCU, the only thing that you're going to hear about HBCU is somebody that embezzled money, or the school is losing money, or lost their accreditation. That's the only thing you're going to hear about. You're never going to hear anything about students going up doing protests, they being treated unfairly, or any of that, and that really sucks. But you'll hear about the PWI issues all day long.
Yeah, I mean, Bubba, it goes to a couple weeks ago, we was saying the same thing. It's happening everywhere. It's just at the PWIs and the bigger schools, they have better PR, and they're better at, you know, spending things. And also, like Rebecca said, a lot of times when that money is coming in, it's already earmarked to certain stuff. Like somebody will donate, and this is for this grant to do X, Y, and Z, or this trust. So, you know, maybe we got to be better about,
one thing. I do
targeted
know
fundraising.
The most difficult time I ever had taking a shower at a university was actually at FAMU. I have to remember I went to band camp there back in '98, and the shower conditions there pretty much left me traumatized, because you're right. I had to go in there with flip-flops, towels. I had to go in there with bleach. It was one of the craziest experiences I've ever been in. So shout out to FAMU, the highest of 70s.
Let me tell you, my experience in the damn dorm room, and Rebecca, I don't know how far yours had to go with this, but when I tell you starting in the dorm room or starting at college, getting used to that, for one, I I gotta take a shower in a bathroom that's open to everybody on this damn floor. Yeah. So on this half of the hallway, that's like 6 rooms, each with 4 people. So that's 24 people I'm sharing a bathroom with that only has 3 stalls and 2 showers. No shower curtain. What? So you can't go in there and take no shower when you feel like it. You gotta wait till late night when everybody sleep because you don't want nobody walking in. But it was like dorm law that, okay, if you hear the shower on in the bathroom, you don't come in there yet, because you got to go back there and use the stall. Hope you ain't got to take a dump because then if you taking a shower, you're going to be SOL. And then if you end up taking a dump while you waiting, oh my God, Ben, yes, at Bronson Hall, the freaking pits. So I did everything in my power I could to get the hell up out that door. I'm like, bro, this not going to work for me.
Hey, I stayed in Bronson Hall only during the summertime. So I do know the bathrooms that you're talking about, but there was nobody there in the summertime. I cannot imagine, man. I'm so glad those days are behind me, man. Sorry to those kids out there who having mushrooms and they have trees. They got entire plants growing. They got a whole botany experiment going on over there.
I'm about to say, at least they farming their own stuff. That'd be good for cultivating some food. No, I'm just playing.
I didn't expect you to say that. Listen, now I will say for all that these kids are doing, I pray that this does more than what it did in '88. It does more than what it did in 2018. We are at the year of the viral times, but now these kids are protesting. I'm talking about they're missing class. They're sleeping outside of the buildings to protest this matter. I mean, you saw Lil Mama still on her little twist, because she's been outside. They've been protesting this, and this is what we are talking about when these. I need for these messages to move forward because I would say they got us back in the day, would be like, they got to suffer like we did. It's just part of the school's culture. I mean, it is what it is. But today's
1988, Lawrence Fishburne was in School Days. They've been fighting. They've been trying to get clean bathrooms at Howard since 1988.
I wasn't even thought of in 1988. And so that's
right. But see,
that's what I'm saying. This ain't.
I was about to say, y'all got to look at it like it probably happens every so many years. They said 88, and then Rebecca, you said 2018. Same thing happened with Cookman. I'm sure it happened with FAMU. It's like it happens that point where these dorms, you build them so many years, and after so much time, they're gonna start getting dilapidated and run down, and they need repairing. But we seen our maintenance department at Cookman. They went about shit, honestly. So they would keep up on nothing. Man,
there was some good people.
Look, Bubba, we ain't got the money to be cussing on here. Okay, we ain't got the money to give up for every cuss word. We ain't got it.
But why you go after the maintenance people with cool? Listen, man, I think I must have been living in a parallel universe at Cookman. I must have missed the whole.
No, you was living what we would consider living with the white folks at Bethune-Cookman.
But it'd be like
there was this one Russian chick who was like who got a tennis scholarship. So she was over there at that dorm with us. But you might be right. Dang.
So
I was on the gentrified side of a HBCU. How does that even happen?
Bubba, you said something. Well, I wouldn't say gentrified. I would say an elite side. You have the elitists and you have the other side. But Bubba, you said something. I was in what we call TWC. Okay. We had Truth, we had Wheatley, and we had Cropper. Okay. So, and I represented my my residential dorm as Miss Wheatley, 2007 and 2008. Then you had Diamond and McGuinn. You see the names we have?
I had a dorm room named Diamond.
Because my dorm was actually named after Phyllis Wheatley.
Coming up to the stage.
Each one was a black woman, historical black woman. That was the female dorm.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And so I was Phyllis Wheatley, and then you had Diamond and McGuinn. Diamond and McGuinn girls were at the front of the school. So when they would come and check out the schools, they would be there. Us, we had to pass to the back of Diamond and McGuinn, climb the stairs of Diamond and McGuinn, hit up. Some people had to crawl through. I'm just kidding. Some people had to go down the steps of another building.
I can't stand Rebecca.
And then I had to, and there's a picture I have from my first day at my dorm. And I'm so ratchet because, I'm coming from Palm Beach. So I'm looking real hood in the front. And then I went back there and they shut down the whole, which kind of makes me sad, but they shut down the whole building. They shut down the whole building.
But if it had mushrooms if y'all are growing mushrooms in black mold.
And Truth Hall was actually the underground part of the
You say the underground?
We have spent quite a bit of time, folks.
You had to
on
go
this
a
show.
level down, and they had no windows, and so
Rebecca,
ooh, y'all,
I just need to say,
terrible.
All of the energy that we have spent over the last 9 months, 10 months on this show promoting HBCUs, I think we made a real bad case against them with these mushrooms growing in the back room.
Well, we're showing you that, and I think at that time, my school we were struggling with funding at that time. But the thing is, we were struggling with funding. We had these closed down dorm rooms that were supposed to be reopened so that we can have more bodies for beds, more beds for the bodies, because there was an influx of students that were coming into the school. Yet, like I said, Magic Johnson gave us this orange room. If we were like that money
said,
could have went to the dorms and stuff, but we were having trouble with funding at the time. So I don't think Howard has issues with funding right now. I think they're so used to having issues with funding and having to apply the funds that are being gifted to the school to certain things. And I think they're so used to that, so they still walk in that system. But you do not have to walk in that system anymore. Take care of your students. We already got to go there for the first year with no car. Take care of your students.
Right.
Okay.
So here's the thing though. So until like these protests and making people aware is great and all, but until we start to affect their pockets the same way we talk about with anything else, at the other places things are getting done because you got people that's going to complain and the right people are going to hear it and hold their money back, or like, hey, look, this $2 million I was supposed to give y'all this year, you're not getting until this gets done. We're not doing that. They already once we at the HBCUs, it's great and all, but they getting the money from they already getting your tuition money, and people are still coming next year, and people are still coming the year after that with everything going on. So until we start affecting their pockets, certain things
where we gonna go if we like we're gonna boycott?
But that's the thing. I'm not saying boycott. No, I'm not saying boycott. I'm saying I don't know how you fix it, because the right people have to be paying attention and start, because there are influential people, black people, giving money to these HBCUs. Yeah, and this stuff is still going on. So until we start to reach those people that will affect their pockets, it's gonna be more of the same.
So and what it's going to come from is the alumni association. Once you get the alumni involved and you get in the alumni ear, I know
so
a
many
good
of the
base
alumni now
of that donation is alumni.
Many of the alumni now who have come from Howard have actually stood in solidarity, and these are celebrity alumni, have stood in solidarity with the Howard students. This is why this news of the unlivable conditions have been pushed to the top. Like, I've never seen any news like this when it comes to HBCU living conditions. That's right. Be even heard. So a lot of the people who represent, a lot of people saying, I love HU forever, but I stand with these kids. We have to get them better living conditions. Unfortunately, in our time, we really just lived with it. We went around it. We did what we had to do with it, and we graduated, right?
We know better.
So, we thought that this was part of it. We thought that this was because we went to an HBCU, and the conversations that were had were because of funding at the time. But I think now, now we can hold the schools accountable, because we can hold them, we can put their information, we can put them on blast where they can't send us a statement that says, well, I know you have these unlivable conditions, but look what Howard's doing. We got so many kids coming in.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They can't do that to us. So
interesting.
I like that a lot of people, a lot of the Howard University alumni, celebrity alumni, including Taraji, including Lance Gross, have spoken up for the school. Even some rappers have spoken up for the children at the school. And that's why I think this is going to be bigger. And then the other schools are going to have to get in line. They're going to have to get it together because
kids out here have to get a whole lot more than a COVID shot. They had to get a tetanus shot. They having to get rabies shots. They had to get everything. They get all kind of stuff at these schools, bro. That's solidarity with all of them over there. Listen, it's 10 o'clock. It's after 10 o'clock. We're getting ready to cut over to the after party, even though we high-key have been in after party mode for some time now. Rebecca, get the last word before we cut out of here. And James, get ready to take us to a break. I do know that next Friday is a costume party for all of our patrons. James, tell the people more about that. I got nothing else. It's in your hands.
Okay, so Ben, when you do that transition, you got to stop at me, and then I'll take it over to Bubba. But
that's fine. You also need to be on time, Rebecca Azor. So if we're gonna do some identifying things that we need to improve on,
it's either I was gonna be late, or I was going to be not present. So
I feel like that's rude.
But listen, I really, 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 really don't want anybody to their takeaway from today's episode and our conversation about HBCUs to be like, oh, I don't want to go to an HBCU or whatever, because at the end of the day, it's still HBCUs and HBCUs only. Right. The love, the amount of education that you get, the Black excellence that is still built there. But like all things that are beautiful and great, there is always something that needs to be worked on. And I think that what these students are saying is that with the legacy of the school, with the history of the school, we deserve something better here. This school deserves something better. And so I think that's a great conversation to have. And I hope that this pushes for changes at all HBCUs. So all HBCUs are put on notice, but shouts out to all HBCUs. HBCU love forever, Florida A&M University. Mwah. All right, Bubba, take it away.
The highest of Seven Hills.
Wildcats, let's go.
Basically.
But yeah, she's right though. Shout out to all HBCUs. Don't get it twisted. Still go to your HBCU, because there's nothing that I wouldn't change that experience for the world, and would never get the same thing from a PWI. I might be able to have to stay in a dirty ass dorm room, but I'm okay with that, because being with all the people that's there, shower shoes and everything, I'm gonna be cool with my people, because I know I'm not the only one that's going through it. So I'm cool with that. Oh yeah, patron party next week. It's the costume party too. The party, here we come, y'all. Y'all tune in. Come to that party. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And before you leave, if you're not coming to the after party, your affirmation for the day is: I choose to start every day with genuine gratitude. Your affirmation for the day: I choose to start every day with genuine gratitude. For those who are not coming to the after party, hope you have a great week. Enjoy yourself. Love you. Those who are coming to the after party, we'll be there in a minute. So y'all get y'all ass on over there to the after party, and we'll be there. I just had sand them out today. I don't know what's going on. I think it's the spirit of Dr. Mack has been invoked upon me. That's what it is. I do not care if you notice me. I cannot fit in the boxes. Stop it. Stop.